Here's how Jussie Smollett's staged attack came together and how police immediately knew he was lying from his body language. Welcome back to the channel, Shakers. For those who are new, Derek Van Shake here. Jussie Smollett is the actor famous for his role on the Fox TV show Empire. Jussie clearly staged his own attack, paid his friends to do it, and then made it seem like he was the victim of the attack so he can gain more fame and demand a higher salary on his TV show. However, Jussie is still claiming it was an actual attack,
I'm the gay Tupac,
despite all the evidence pointing to him staging it. Recently, surveillance and police body camera footage has been released, so we're going to piece together the footage to show how the attack actually came together and how police seem to immediately know Jussie was lying from his body language. Now, let's get started.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you, my friend. Take care of me, okay? Make sure everything okay? Okay. Thank you.
The police have gone through a lot of video and they were able to capture an image of two people of interest. Have you seen that image and do you believe that they could possibly be the attackers?
I do.
At first, the police only show this dark, shadowy image of the Olsen-Darrow brothers. But watch what happens when they walk towards the light.
What other ones had you heard that were inaccurate?
That I had said that they were wearing MAGA hats. I never said that. I didn't need to add anything like that. They called me a They called me a There's no which way you cut it. I don't need some MAGA hat as the cherry on top of some racist sundae.
Oh, I see, Jussie. Your attacker didn't have a MAGA hat on. He just had a regular, plain red hat on.
And a red hat. They pay in cash. A security guard at the store vividly remembers the pair.
They wanted a hat.
Okay.
Make America great, but we don't sell hats like that.
Whoa. They asked you for a MAGA hat?
Yes.
Clearly, Jussie didn't want to mention his attacker was wearing a red hat or a MAGA hat because people were already calling his story bogus, that attackers were waiting outside his apartment building at 2 a.m. in negative 10-degree Fahrenheit temperature in the dead of winter with a noose and a bottle of bleach, waiting to attack him when he came back from his random 2 a.m. munchies run. So he seemed to want to dial his story back a bit after the fact.
Do we have to go now? We have to
Right now, come on, hurry up.
Aren't you the man from the Empire show? That movie?
Yes? What are you doing in our town? Yes, I am. I'm the gay Tupac. What's good? What's good? Get more aggressive, more aggressive. Oh, shit! Oh, wrap rope around his neck.
Around his neck.
Let me fight back. Let me fight back.
All right.
Oh!
Floor bleed.
Hold on, I'm gonna get the water. Oh, look at the. Oh, please stop doing it, please.
This is MAGA country now.
You don't belong here.
And run away so the cops don't see anything that we already did.
Oh! Why? Why me? Why me?
Can you head over and check in a bearer report? The system has it as Lower Northwater, but the address is don't have a last name on the cell phone regarding a friend that was assaulted and battered when he walked out of his apartment. He's supposed to be well-known requesting a report. Instead, the noose was placed over the friend's neck. EMS has refused and said the apartment's next to the Lowe's Hotel. But once again, just be advised, that address in the system is at Lower Water.
We're on scene.
I was there with Jussie. I'm the one who called 911. I'm the one who took him to the hospital, and it was so scary, man. That was a scary night. It was scary. My stomach was numb, but I'm glad I'm the old man that was at his apartment when he got there, and I was responsible. I said, let's call the cops, let's go to the hospital.
Okay, what's going on? I'm sorry?
The guy upstairs really doesn't want to. Can you come to the apartment?
Yeah, sure.
These two police officers seem so skeptical and apprehensive. They're surely thinking this all doesn't make any sense. Getting hate crime attacked in a low crime area at 2 a.m. on a below zero weekday winter night. They're surely concerned this could either be a setup or an ambush.
No, we're recording everything.
Yeah,
We do recording audio.
It's basically insensitive. Like, his pride is in a way, right?
Okay. Yeah, let you know, you're being audibly and visually recorded right now.
And I just feel like, if anything like this happened to me, I would want to report it. So I guess he's going out to go to Subway or something, or something.
Okay.
I work with him, so he is like a star. He works on the show Empire, so I think he doesn't want that to be a big deal. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
Okay, so. But to me, it's kind of messed up. And the thing that bothers me the most, it makes me emotional, is they put a makeshift loop, what do you call the thing? A noose around his neck. Sorry, And that's what bothered me. The cut thing doesn't bother me at all, if that makes any sense.
Did you see this?
No, I didn't. He just came up to the apartment. He walked into, I guess he came in through the front door. I'm sitting there waiting.
Do you guys live together? Or?
No. I'm just his creative director. Just visiting. He lives alone.
Jussie apparently wanted someone to be at his apartment as a partial witness when he came back home all disheveled. So he used Frank for that role. Jussie may not originally have wanted the cops to be called, so he needed someone to be that partial witness who can help spread the story and vouch for it. It seems that Frank didn't know this was all a staged attack set up by Jussie. So it's sad Jussie callously used Frank in all of this, who seems like a nice guy.
But I just feel like he should report this, that's all. That make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. This is stupid. And I know he's been getting some hate, but he never showed it to me, but I know it's something. Come on in, sir.
Any weapons or anything?
No.
Now we get our first glimpse of Jussie with his fake noose around his neck. As you probably noticed, that's not a strong pulling rope, that's a clothesline. Imagine if you were that cop walking into this unfamiliar apartment with this guy standing there wearing a clothesline around his neck. Also, the TV appears to be on CNN, so all that time, Jussie is sitting on the couch watching the earlier airing of Anderson Cooper 360 with a clothesline around his neck.
I just don't want my neighbors to know.
Okay. So I explained to him how you were going to get something in.
When Frank starts telling the officers the story, Jussie adjusts the rope as if it's a necktie. Jussie seemed to want to appear as much of a victim as possible. And clearly the actor in him wanted to make it look as dramatic as possible. If this really happened to someone, they would want that rope, which represents such violation and disrespect, off of them ASAP.
And the reason I'm calling because of this.
We naturally refrain from touching or wearing things we don't like, but Jussie is constantly touching and petting and adjusting that rope. This is surely giving the officers the feeling that Jussie likes this rope noose. Now listen to what this officer says to Jussie.
Okay. You want to take it off or anything?
The officer asks Jussie if he wants to take it off because everything seems to point to him liking this rope noose around his neck. All of this is surely red flags for these police officers, considering that would be one of the most belittling things you could have placed around someone's neck, especially for a black man, due to the history of what it represents. Also, what Jussie seems to forget is that no matter how good of an actor he thinks he is, police see authentic tragedy, human emotion, and body language every single day. They also encounter people who lie to them every single day. So they always know when something's up.
Yeah, I do. I just want to see.
After an attack, people naturally want to remove the clothing that they were wearing and shower because the physical violation made them feel dirty. But not Jussie. He didn't even want to remove the rope noose that was supposedly violently tied around his neck in an attack. When Jussie takes off the rope, see if you can spot anything a little odd.
There's bleach on me. Bleach on me.
You're filming us, right?
Yeah, this is all been. If you want, if it's in his house.
They're filming you.
Yes, he takes off the rope as if he knew how it was tied. This rope supposedly represented one of the most traumatic events of his entire life, but he took it off so casually, as if the show was over and it was just another prop on set. Now, notice what Jussie does with the rope.
You're being audio and read.
Jussie winds up that rope with care. If anyone tried to belittle you in the most terrible way with that rope, would that rope be something you show any care for? It would possibly be thrown on the floor or possibly thrown in a plastic bag and given to the police as evidence. Also, again, we touch things we like and avoid touching things we don't like. I think you get the connection of why Jussie really likes this rope. Because it represents an event that he surely believes will help catapult his career and his salary. Then he takes the rope and places it on his kitchen counter, this same counter he cooks food on and eats from. He's showing that rope, which was supposedly used to harm and belittle him, he's showing it a lot of respect and intimacy.
Okay, so can we turn it off?
Yeah, you're giving us permission to shut it off.
Faces were blurred because Jussie was originally named a victim, so we couldn't analyze facial expressions. But Jussie didn't seem distraught, sad, confused, or in any physical pain, which surely caused the police to know Jussie wasn't being truthful. Currently, Jussie is still claiming that he was attacked, and he didn't stage it. Jussie's defense is that the Olsen-Darrow brothers were apparently the ones who attacked him against his will. Yeah, completely bogus on so many levels due to the mountains of evidence and everything of what Jussie has said prior. As more evidence is released, it becomes even more certain, if that's even possible, that this was, in fact, a staged attack. Jussie, if you want a shot at regaining anything of what's left of your career, you can start by first telling everyone the truth and then apologizing. Give this video a thumbs up if you think Jussie Smollett is still guilty of staging his own attack. Give this video a thumbs down if you think he's not guilty. Now in the comments, what would you think if you were the officer who saw Jussie Smollett standing there with the clothesline around his neck? Let everyone know in the comments below. Remember to subscribe so you don't miss out on new body language and investigative videos where we always shake up YouTube, and I'll see you at the top.